All right, guys, it's day 4 of coronavirus practice indoors. We're back in the gym. I've got some super exciting stuff I want to share with you today because my progress with my own stuff has gone on super well. I'm really pumped about where my swing has come along and how quickly it's gotten there. I want to share with you something that even I had slipped back into a fundamental issue that completely changed by doing one simple little thing, just a little bit wrong, made it impossible for me to coil up properly in the backswing. And I'm going to share that with you today because it's going to help you understand just how important some of these small details are and understand exactly how it's so important to work through the fundamentals of the swing. That's really what we're really working on. So I also want to talk about the RoadShow. I got a huge update there, so I want to share that. But first, I got to talk about something that is not so positive that happened yesterday, because this may actually directly affect you. So yesterday morning I woke up and I had a message from somebody in our Facebook group who said, "Hey man, you should check out this guy's video. It looks like he stole your content and is publishing it as his own." Now, this stuff happens all the time. People take my ideas and claim it as their own, but typically it's just, they take some little simple thing, it's one little thing, and don't give me credit for it, and that's okay. That stuff happens, but this was a little bit different, to say the very least. So I go and look at this video, and this person had not taken one of my ideas, or even 2 of my ideas. He'd taken all of my ideas, and not just published his own videos building on my ideas. He basically took a transcript of my videos, studied it, and regurgitated it from memory. It was so disgustingly obvious that I was shocked, because I can't believe somebody would try and pull something like this off. And it wasn't just the video content. His entire website is a blatant carbon copy of all of the stuff I've spent my entire life working on with RotarySwing. So, Eric Kaplan of Axis Golf, in case you're a member of that site, was contacted yesterday by me and then many Facebook group members who I had let know about this issue, who all went on his YouTube channel and was posting comments and emailing him directly, because Eric, as I found and pointed out on the site, has been a member of RotarySwing for the last couple of years. And ironically, it's about the last couple of years that he's been publishing my content as his own. What's really bothersome about this is that Eric says that he's taught Rory McIlroy and Bernard Longer and Adam Scott and all these guys on his site, and he's been doing it with my content, my ideas, my teaching methodology, and of course not giving any credit for it whatsoever, and literally publishing all of my stuff as his own. So when the Facebook group members reached out to him, and I reached out to him and said, "Eric, like, dude, you're stealing all my stuff and telling everybody it's yours and taking credit for it," he immediately took down the YouTube videos. He took down all of the ones where all of his full swing content, which was my content, and then also, not only in an obvious admission of guilt, taking down all those videos immediately, he took down all of the full swing videos on his website. So if you're a member of axysgolf.com, axysgolf.com, and you're paying a subscription fee, which he also copied my entire business model, my prices, everything on it. I don't know what you're paying for anymore, because he took all your content down yesterday, all my content down yesterday. So this type of stuff, honestly, it's disheartening. I mean, I've spent countless thousands of hours developing RotarySwing. I mean, countless thousands of hours studying biomechanics, studying physics, studying anatomy, looking at swings, looking at my own swing, using my own swing as a model, teaching thousands and thousands and thousands of students to develop my ideas and share that with the world. And when you guys join RotarySwing, what you're saying to me is, hey, I share the same beliefs. I share the same ideas that you do. You believe in the same things that I believe in. You believe that the golf industry is full of a lot of snake oil salesmen like this person, that there is a simpler way, that you have been kind of misled, and that you're tired of the equipment manufacturers trying to sell you a magic $400, $500 driver that's going to magically fix your slice, when you know that your swing is the issue. It's always the Indian, not the arrow, as the old saying goes. But long story short, this type of stuff just really, it's awful. I mean, for somebody to so blatantly steal all of my stuff and then in an obvious admission of guilt, take it down immediately as soon as he's called out on it, it's really upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty pissed yesterday. So at least to his credit, he took it all down immediately, but that alone, the obvious admission of guilt, is just frustrating. Like, how long was he gonna run this scam on everybody? It's really aggravating. So anyway, first I wanna say thank you to all of the Rotary Swing Facebook group members, and I'm not gonna get into this stuff in any more detail because it's too sad, it's too frustrating, but if you want to go on the Facebook group, you can see all the comments and stuff on there. There's hundreds on there, but thank you for, first of all, Matt, for bringing this to my attention. Like I said, this stuff happens all the time, but never this blatant. And so I just want to say thank you to all you guys for having my back. It means, I'm not really an emotional guy, but sorry, it means a lot to me to see that you guys care enough to stand up and have my back. So thank you for that. To Rory and Adam and Bernard and all the great success you guys have had on my material, you're welcome. So next time, come to the horse's mouth, you'll get a better story. So anyway, now on to some positive stuff. The roadshow stuff. So just as a way of me saying thanks for you guys having my back yesterday, I'm gonna extend the roadshow. As soon as I can get out of here, I am hitting the road. As soon as it's safe and responsible and things calm down, I'm getting out there. I'm going up the whole West Coast. So I'm gonna start in Colorado, I'm gonna head west, going to Utah, going to California, all the way up to British Columbia. So we're gonna do the whole thing. So thank you guys for all of those of you who sent in, asking me to come visit you. I'm in. I'm gonna come do it. And not just, as I was talking about before, about just doing like playing with you guys and member guests and things like that. You guys sent so many awesome emails, dozens and dozens and dozens of requests for me to come see you and just saying, hey, I want to come play golf with you. I'm down, let's do it. Let's go out and just freaking have some fun for a while and go out and play golf at your local club. Doesn't have to be in your member guest anymore. I just want to come and hang out with you guys and get to know you guys again and just say thanks for supporting me. And as part of that, I'm gonna try and extend the roadshow back out to the East Coast. You guys know I don't like the East Coast that much, but I'm gonna head out there. Maybe we'll make a fall trip to the Northeast. We'll do some fall color stuff. But I'm really excited about the West Coast side of it because there's so many RotarySwing members all up and down the coast, and there's beautiful golf to be played there. I've had so many awesome invites to go play Chambers Bay and Olympic Club and all that stuff, and I'm gonna go do it, and I'm gonna video it all, share it with you guys, so it'll be a super fun time. I may even try to slip on Pebble. I've never played Pebble, believe it or not. I know it's kind of sad, but so who wants to play Pebble golf with me for my first time? You guys send me an email, send it to support@RotarySwing.com, and we'll get together. We're gonna have a great time on this road trip and just remind people that there's more to life than just going out there and being stressed out and worried about all the time about people stealing your stuff or worrying about this virus as bad as it is. Things are gonna come back, and we're gonna be able to go out and have a good time, and golf is like recreational therapy. So being outdoors obviously is a huge deal to me. Getting to meet you guys who've supported me all these years, big deal to me, obviously. So anyway, with that being said, let's talk about what's going on in your practice right now while you guys have time to be in the indoors working in front of a mirror, because I want to talk about the really simple fundamentals and stuff that I was even making a mistake on that I didn't catch. It's so easy to let little things lapse, and it made a huge difference in my swing. So let me grab a club and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. All right, so as you guys know, I was talking about what I was working on last time. Again, what I'm working on is less important compared to how I'm working on it. And what I'm really always trying to do when I'm working on my swing is working on the fundamentals of the dead drill, just the basics. It's just the simple stuff. And one of those things that was going on in my swing is obviously I'm just recovering from the flu or the coronavirus or whatever it is, and I was in bed for 11 days. And so laying down, not stretching, not exercising, obviously not great for somebody with a bad back after breaking his neck and having scoliosis and a bunch of nerve damage. So as I was getting up and starting to do my drills, I noticed some tightness that I'm like, gosh, did I hurt my back lifting weights? I hadn't lifted in a long time, obviously. Did I hurt my back just laying in bed for 11 days? And I just was stiff. And then I realized No, it was just a really simple fundamental, and it was so obvious when I went back and looked at my swing on video. And this is why you have to video your swing. Even in the mirror, I didn't quite catch it. I needed time to go back and step through frame by frame and see exactly what was going on, because I felt something going on. I felt some tension in my back that I never feel, and I didn't understand it, and I was trying to blame it on just laying in bed for 11 days. And when the reality was, it was just that my joints weren't aligned properly. I wasn't set up correctly. So what had happened is as I was going back, my hips were wanting to overturn, and I obviously could see that in the mirror, but I didn't totally understand. So I'm like, gosh, why is that happening? And as I turned my upper body, it felt kind of tight in my lower back. And the reality is, it was just one simple fundamental that was going off that was causing my hips to overturn and making it impossible for me to make a proper load into this right side. And that was pelvic tilt. When I looked at my swing from down the line, which I couldn't see as well in the mirror because I can't turn my head very far after breaking my neck, so I was relying on the live view, and the screen was a little small and I couldn't quite see the little details. My belt line was a little bit like this, and a lot of golf instructors teach that, to bend from the waist. So instead of bending from your hip socket like I teach you with rotary swing, they teach you to bend from the waist. They literally say that. So what you're doing is you're taking your spine and rounding it and taking it out of neutral joint alignment. So you're limiting your mobility. So you have to make up for it with hip rotation. And a lot of us get into this bad habit. You know, we just sit all the time like this. We sit at computers, we sit at desks, and we start getting to this habit of wanting to set up like this. You have to hinge from your hip socket while maintaining neutral posture in your spine, because that's how we get maximum mobility. And as I do this, as I hinge from my hip socket instead of bending from my waist, can you guys see the difference? Now, as I've maintained this neutral spine, my belt line is tilted down because you can see that I've tilted from my hip socket. Now, as I go back, I can make this nice big turn and load into this right side properly without having this big hip turn. I don't have to restrict my hip movement. I hate the idea of talking about restricting something, and people talk, I talk about how to rotate, like, no, you don't want your hips just ripping through in the backswing, because obviously it adds moving parts and you lose the coil, the load in your muscles. But I don't want you to have to try and restrict it, because the golf swing is all about movement. You have to move throughout the swing. And so the idea of restricting something is not ideal, although a lot of times at first you may need to kind of feel that to get an understanding of what your swing's supposed to feel like if you're used to just being really sloppy and lazy with it. But I don't like to feel restricted anywhere. I want to feel free. And as soon as I tilted my hip, or tilted from my hip sockets, now I could make a load into this right side, and it looks like my hips have barely turned, but I've been able to make a nice big full turn with no tension, no stress, no unhealthy tension, right? I'm feeling load in my legs and feeling load in my core, but it's a healthy load versus this, which now feels uncomfortable because I've taken those facet joints and smashed them up against each other in my spine. So long story short, it's always the fundamentals. It's the simple stuff. To get your swing on track, you have to catch all the little details. You have to pay attention to these simple little things. Just something as simple as, instead of bending from my waist, bending from my hip socket made all the difference in the world. So now, as I go back, I feel I can load into this right side. I can really sit into the left side. I can post up and get into a great release. So as soon as I started paying attention to my own little details and really took the time to realize everybody slips into these old habits and bad mistakes and just bad posture, laying in bed all the time, being sick, it's so easy to just let these little fundamentals go away. And these are the things that you always need to check. So as part of that, now my swing feels awesome. So now I feel like I can load into this right side. I can really drive down with my legs, really post up, and really get into a powerful release and impact position. So as my drill has progressed, as I started getting just set up properly, as simple as that one is, I started being able to add some speed. But I'm still doing a lot of drills in the morning of just going, chunking it, just because I want to keep maintaining that feel. So here's how my sequence goes when I practice. As I'm going, now I'm obviously being conscious of making sure I set up correctly now. So I'm literally grabbing my belt and just tilting it down so that I feel a little stretch in my hamstrings and my glutes. It's reminding me that I'm hinging from my hip socket and maintaining neutral with my spine. So now from here, I'm going to the top and loading into this right side, sitting down into the left, posting up and releasing. And these are kind of the ways that I'm working through it at the pace when I kind of get up in the morning and start doing my drills. It's pretty slow and chunky. And each time as I do that, I'm watching myself in the mirror, and then I will start to try and add a little bit of pace to it, or take the pauses and make them smaller, right? So at first my pauses might be, okay, I gotta really kind of pay attention to this one, really gotta feel this. Now I gotta feel this. Now I gotta feel it, so on and so forth. I take the time to get those feelings. I take the time to correct it. It's what I see in the mirror, what I see on video. I'll stop. As I start adding pace is when I start videoing it a lot more. But then as I do that, I wanna start making those pauses a little smaller. I'll start breaking it. Can I put moves 1 and 2 together? Can I get the backswing and the transition all the way into the post up? Can I get those together all slowly with fewer pauses, shorter pauses, and so on? And that's the pace that I'm at now. So I'm not quite ready to do it perfectly at speed. It's not there yet, but it's pretty close. I'm pretty close where I'm probably gonna hit a couple balls here pretty soon, but I'm in no hurry. There's nowhere to go right now anyway, right? Most of the golf courses are closed. So I'm just getting good work done, but I'm pretty darn happy with how my swing is looking now just by getting simple fundamentals together. Check your posture, check your axis tilt, rotate back, sit to the left side, post up, golf swing's done. So, thanks again for all the support, guys. As you're working on these drills, just make sure you're working through them in the sequence that you go through on the site, and take the time to get these movements right. Look at your swing on video, go through pauses, kind of break it into chunks, and then slowly start making those pauses a little bit smaller. Try to chunk moves 1 and 2 together, then moves 1, 2, and 3 together. It might take you a week, it might take you a month, it doesn't matter. We got time. Get your swing together, ready for spring, get that shiny new car coming together.